KW. This is a KOMU 8 News special report. Smart Decision election coverage.
Well, the night has finally arrived, election night 2020. Good evening, everyone. I'm Emily Spain. Thanks for joining us tonight. We have lots of important information to bring you tonight. Polls are now closed across the state, and we're watching results closely as they come in tonight. A reminder, we do have those results for you on the bottom of your screen and on our website, KOMU.com. And we have live team coverage across the state covering all the big races, including the race for governor and Amendment 3. Let's dive right into our first batch of results for you. In the race for governor, here's a look there at those numbers. With 26% of precincts reporting Mike Parson in the lead with 51% of the votes, Nicole Galloway with 47% of the votes. And we have live team coverage across Missouri tonight following this race. We begin with KOMU 8's Noah Klein, who is live in Springfield with the governor's campaign. Noah, what's it like there?
Emily, the room is packed. In fact, it's at capacity. That's information I learned in the last 30 minutes, and you can feel the energy in this capacity crowd here. The crowd is cheering, and you can hear that they are excited about the way things are going already tonight. In the past hour, Congressman Jason Smith has been on stage behind me twice, just getting this crowd fired up. He even made sure that everyone in the room voted red today. I've been told by the campaign that about every 30 minutes, people will be on stage behind me. And then at some point tonight, the governor will speak, but they won't do that until they feel confident in his decision. Now, the governor did make his way around the state before tonight. He went on a massive bus tour with about 40 stops, making one final push to Missouri voters last week. The governor's main message at those bus stops was making sure Missourians looked at his values, his passion for what he calls law and order, and the state economy. Now, I did speak with Governor Mike Parson's campaign manager about when they'll feel confident in this race. He told me he's been speaking with election officials all night, and that when they feel confident, he will too. For now, reporting live in Springfield, Noah Klein, KOMU 8 News.
Now to the candidate hoping to unseat the governor. Nicole Galloway and her campaign are here in Columbia. KOMU 8's Peyton Headley joins us now live from the Tiger Hotel in downtown Columbia. Peyton?
I talked to the senior campaign manager, and he said he feels they have the momentum going into the race, and his reasoning for that is the long lines at polling places. The campaign team also said that Nicole Galloway won't be making any comments until the race is called later tonight, but they did say that she is on site. She's inside the Tiger Hotel watching the polls with her family, but so far we haven't seen her. You know, normally we could tell you how the crowd is feeling inside, but of course no one is in here besides members of the media and her campaign team, but the campaign team did say that they're very excited about the numbers so far. Leading up to the campaign, Nicole Galloway spent last night in Kansas City. This morning she was visiting 2 different polling places in St. Louis, and of course tonight she is in downtown Columbia at the Tiger Hotel for her election night event. And again, she is expected to give a speech at some point tonight once the race is called, but we don't know when that will be. And if she is elected, she would be the first woman governor of Missouri. Reporting live in Columbia, Peyton Headley, KOMU 8 News.
Well, polls have been officially closed in Boone County since 7 p.m., but our reporters are still out covering polling places as the votes are counted. KOMU 8's Tyler Druzinga is live at the county clerk's office to tell us about the counting efforts and the drastic spike in early voting.
Yeah, Emily, the first precinct got here at about 7:45, and it's been precinct after precinct after that. It's really only slowed down in the last 5 minutes or so, and as we take a look around here, you can kind of see the process of checking in these precincts takes up pretty much the entire first floor of the Boone County government building. The Boone County clerk's unofficial numbers show over 63,000 people voted in person in Boone County today, and over 28,000 voted absentee or mail-in. You can see the precincts getting checked in here. All total, about 80% of active voters voted in Boone County. Once a precinct is checked in, its ballot results contained on a USB drive are taken up to the clerk's office on the second floor to be tabulated. The clerk's office started counting absentee and mail-in votes early this morning. They were all caught up by 3 o'clock this afternoon. Boone County Clerk Brianna Lennon says they also made several trips to the post in before 7 o'clock. Once all the precincts have reported, and they're just on one more, this building will lock as the votes are tallied. Reporting live in Columbia, Tyler Druzinga, KOMU 8 News.
Let's turn now to the race for the White House for just a moment. Here's a look at the numbers for Missouri. These candidates, of course, need no introduction to you tonight. President Trump is leading right now with 52% of the vote. Joe Biden with 47% of the vote. This is with 29% of precincts reporting. Looking closer at the big race of the day, the campaigning is officially over for both candidates. Instead, they're each sharing positive messages with supporters saying they're hopeful for victory. President Trump made a visit to his campaign headquarters in Virginia today, sharing with staffers that losing wouldn't be easy for him. Vice President Biden made stops in Pennsylvania and Delaware today, telling supporters he may not address the nation tonight if the results are too tight. Both candidates say they are confident on the night's results.
No, I'm not thinking about concession speech or acceptance speech yet. Hopefully, we'll be only doing one of those two. And you know, winning is easy. Losing is never easy. Not for me, it's not.
No matter what he does, no matter what he says, the votes are going to count.
While Joe Biden is watching results in Delaware tonight, President Trump is monitoring the election from the White House. You can follow the latest results for both national and state elections all night on our air and online and streaming on Roku and Apple TV. We'll continue to update these results for you as we receive them to keep you informed on all the latest and newest information on election night. Kenton.
Well, you couldn't ask for better weather today. Even as I was standing in line to vote today, people were mentioning how much they enjoyed the weather. Perfect sunshine. High temperature at 74. A little cool this morning, but seasonal. 40 degrees here is our average low, well above average for that high temperature. And we're going to be warmer tomorrow morning. We're not going to be down to around 40. We're actually going to be down to around 50 this time around. And then we're going to warm back to those lower and middle 70s in the afternoon. So we're going to hold on to these warm 70-degree temperatures, not only this week, but through the weekend and even into next week, too. I am tracking a pattern change, though, bringing in some more seasonal temperatures and even some more rainfall. I'm tracking that coming up in the First Alert full forecast.
Also coming up after the break, we take a look at the first set of results from Missouri Senate and House races. Plus, we go in depth on Amendment 3 with an update on how Missourians voted as the numbers continue to roll in tonight. We'll be right back.
Never be surprised by the weather. Download the free KOMU 8 Weather and Traffic app. Brought to you by Central Bank of Boone County.
Need a better night's sleep?
Come to the experts at Slumberland.
We've got all the latest sleep technology at the lowest price around.
Get this highly recommended Sealy Posturepedic Queen mattress for just $449.
Slumberland, free shipping on everything.
Smart Decision election coverage brought to you by the law offices of Ing & Woods. We make it right.
They're facing something that is causing them a lot of times a lot of fear.
At the end of the case, we want the best outcome for the client.
By really going out there and fighting tooth and nail every step of the way.
We've been doing this a long time, and we work hard, and we've got a good reputation.
And we try to give the power back to the client.
He has medical debt from rescuing a cat from a tree. Jim Butler gave him a fresh start. He missed a few student loan payments. Jim Butler got him into a car. No matter the reason, sometimes you just need a fresh start to build your credit back up. Jim Butler will help you. Get a fresh start on life with a reliable car you'll want to hug with money left over without tough terms. Our 53 lenders have put more than 6,000 people just like you back in control. And it all starts when you go to JimButlerFreshStart.com.
Salvador came to the Boone Wound Healing Center with a gangrenous wound on his thigh and his leg.
Got run over by a rental truck.
He had waited a month to seek help.
I thought I'd heal up by myself, but I learned my lesson.
For the wound to heal, we had to get Sal's diabetes under control.
They put in a strict diet and no cheating.
With the help of a wearable wound vac, we were able to heal his wounds.
He actually healed up 2 months ahead of schedule.
If you have a wound that won't heal, contact Boone Hospital Wound Healing Center.
They did a very good job.
Boone Hospital Wound Healing Center.
Non-stop news is something new we've designed to fit your busy morning.
15 minutes of commercial-free, uninterrupted information.
What happened overnight and what's happening right now. And live traffic updates and your first alert forecast.
15 minutes of commercial-free, non-stop news every weekday morning from 6:45 to 7. Only on KOMU 8 News Today.
At Slumberland, we offer quite a line of sofas.
All kinds of sofas, but only one kind of price.
A jaw-dropping low price. Great looking, too.
And all with free shipping. There's no minimum.
Only at Slumberland Furniture.
The First Alert Weather Cam is brought to you by Harper Evans Wade and Nettemeyer. If you've been seriously injured in an accident, visit lawmissouri.com.
Welcome back. It's been a busy night for us, and we have more results to share with you. In the race for Missouri State Senate District 19, with 15% of the precincts reporting, Republican incumbent Caleb Rowden with 44% of the vote, and Democratic challenger Judy Baker has 56% of the vote. Moving now to the race for Missouri's 4th Congressional District. If we can pull that graphic up here, there it is. Vicki Hartzler with 67% of the vote, and Lindsey Simmons challenging the Republican incumbent with 30% of the vote. There are 48% of the precincts voting, so about halfway there in that race. And in the race for Missouri's 3rd Congressional District, here's a look at those numbers. Blaine Luetkemeyer with a strong lead there with 32% of the precincts reporting. Luetkemeyer has 71% of the vote, and Megan Rezebek has 27%. Now to the other major issue we've been following tonight, Amendment 3. Let's take a look at those results that we have so far. That's the ballot initiative, which would reform voter-approved Clean Missouri. With 20% of the precincts reporting, things pretty tight so far, with the yeses having it right now at 52% of the vote, and the noes 48% of the vote. Missouri voters, of course, had a lot to say on Amendment 3 this election season. Let's send it over to KOMU 8's Caroline Reevy, who's here in the studio to break down the amendment and what both sides are saying. Caroline.
Emily, Amendment 3 has been controversial as it essentially undoes what Clean Missouri aimed to do. Some said the ballot language was confusing. Others said the voters needed a chance to change Amendment 1 from 2018. Clean Missouri created a redistricting process by a nonpartisan demographer. If Amendment 3 passes, it would change Missouri back to a bipartisan system where the governor is the one appointing those officials. Opponents believe those who support the amendment have hidden agendas, but supporters believe it is what's right for Missourians.
We sure hope that Amendment 3 does pass tonight, because it would be really good for all the people of Missouri, especially Central Missouri, because Columbia stands to lose the most if Amendment 3 fails, more than almost any other place in the state.
Amendment 3 would also limit lobbyist gifts and campaign contributions. In the newsroom, Caroline Reevy, KOMU 8 News.
We have a lot more coming up tonight with team coverage across the state and updates from polling places.
And if we take a quick look here at Hurricane Eta, it's a Category 2. It's in Nicaragua, but as it continues into this weekend, eventually going back into the Caribbean, and then it could actually reach us here in the United States, affecting Florida later this weekend into next week. I'm going to look at the United States through the next week, and I'm talking about a big temperature change coming up.
You plan for everything in life, except the only thing that's for certain. Is it time for a frank discussion with your loved ones about final arrangements? It pays to discuss the details and the price when your family's not under stress. At Bach-Yeager Funeral Chapel, we're not big and corporate. You'll deal directly with our owners. Whether it's a traditional service or a simple cremation, count on Bach-Yeager Funeral Chapel in Columbia, Carr Yeager Funeral Home in Fayette, and Marklin Yeager Funeral Home in New Franklin for personalized service with dignity, care, and respect.
KOMU.com is redesigned for you. Get the latest updates 24/7 with access to streaming newscasts and breaking news at your fingertips.
Shots fired in downtown Columbia area.
Track storms with the First Alert Interactive Radar and plan your week with the 7-day forecast. Stay connected to the sports you love with highlights and scores from your favorite local teams. And know before you go with the latest closings and cancellations. KOMU.com. Redesigned for you. Coverage you can count on. Download the free KOMU 8 News app. Brought to you by Lordex Spine Center.
Next time on Justice with Judge Maybelline.
So what happens if the heat index goes up to 98 or 99 and you're unaware of it?
Well, usually I will check my phone. Like I said, I just don't like checking my phone. But I
Well,
could
you
have
don't care
been.
about what you like doing. I'm asking you, what do you do? Like it or not, you got a team. You got young boys out there on the field playing. I don't care whether you like it or not. Do you do it, is my question.
I
So
do,
I
yeah.
guess not, since you don't like doing it. That's what you're telling me.
Tomorrow at 1 on the Mid-Missouri CW.
Carpet Values in Kingdom City is the largest mill-direct wholesale flooring superstore in the Midwest. Let our knowledgeable and friendly staff of experts show you our huge selection of carpet, hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl plank, and tile from Mannequin, Mohawk, Shaw, and more. Plus, Mid-Missouri's largest in-stock selection of area rugs, now 20% off. We're the largest stocking retailer of all styles of waterproof flooring in Missouri, and all of our products are guaranteed 100% first quality backed by the manufacturer. Take it home today or have us install it for you. Carpet Values in Kingdom City. Huge inventory, low prices.
Welcome back. Other races we are, of course, keeping an eye on tonight. Just last week, our Megan Judy held an online forum for both the Southern and Northern Boone County Commissioners race. Here's a look at those races. 0% reporting. We're still waiting on some of the numbers to come in from Boone County. Fred Perry, of course, current commissioner, running against challenger Justin Aldred. And then in the Northern District, we have current commissioner Janet M. Thompson running against challenger Tristan Asbury. As we mentioned earlier, there was record turnout here in mid-Missouri and across the country. Some voters in Fulton said they didn't experience long lines this afternoon and felt safe voting in person despite the pandemic. One Fulton voter says he casted his ballot in person because he didn't fully trust the mail-in process. He says the COVID-19 safety measures in place made him feel better about that decision. If not everyone had been wearing masks, his experience would have been a lot different, he said.
If we had a crowd out here and nobody had their mask on, I don't think it'll be safe. I wouldn't have came. I would have came. I would probably would have stood out there at the road until, the line went down.
Smith says the voter turnout this year seems much higher compared to elections in the past. A number of voters showed up to the polls with their little ones today. One Cole County mother brought her 7-year-old along because her school is closed due to COVID-19. She says it was a good learning opportunity for her daughter and a way to convey an important message.
That you should vote. And she had a lot of questions about what the different boxes meant, and I told her we'd talk about it once we got in the car, so that way everyone had their privacy. So once we get in the car, we'll talk more about it.
Margaret says it was her first time voting because of registration issues in the past, but she made sure to be prepared this time around. Some Missouri voters believe a lot more is at stake during this year's presidential election. They hope to. For some people, the presidential campaign has caused division among most Americans. Some voters are hoping to use their ballots as a way to create a sense of togetherness. One Mexico voter says he hopes to see unity.
Honestly, I would like to see a lot of people coming together. I feel like this election has been very, very divisive. I feel like the last 4 years has, and I would love to see the people get, together.
Davis says this is not his first time voting in an election, but he feels that it is one of the most important. Kenton.
Emily, there was almost pitch-perfect weather all across the United States on our election day. We had a lot of sunshine here for the majority of the lower 48. Now we have a little bit of snow in upstate New York. Still a bit of rain there in Washington State, as they've had throughout the day. Almost the only area that saw some rain today besides parts of the southern Rocky Mountains. As we look into our day tomorrow, some clouds will start to move through. Tomorrow's going to be the most cloud cover we're going to see for the rest of the week because that's going to push off towards the east. We're going to see our sunshine again on Thursday. As we head then into Friday, we're still holding on to that sunshine. Some clouds will come back into play over the weekend. It's going to be a bit breezy for us over the weekend too, but you can see no rain in our forecast. In fact, we're watching the south here for some rain as Ada gets a little closer. Again, could be a tropical storm, maybe even a hurricane as it gets back into the Caribbean this weekend. But we're watching over here to the west because there is a storm system that's going to be rolling over there. And as it gets over the Rocky Mountains, it could bring us some rain and some cooler temperatures early next week. But before then, we are going to be very warm. And I'm talking well above average. Average high is about 59. We're going to be in the 70s. Again, well above average. Not quite record-breaking, but getting a little close. Then 56 for that morning low temperature on Sunday morning. Just interesting to show you, that's within 3 degrees of the average high temperature. That's how warm we're talking about. Also, next week, by the way, as we're looking ahead to next week, here's kind of the battleground in our temperatures next week, because we have a lot of warm weather out towards the east. To the west, though, very cold weather is going to be moving in for them. Meanwhile, we do have good chances for some precipitation for especially the early portion of next week as well. I'll show you that here in the 8-day forecast. But first, I want to talk about tonight. Our low temperature is warmer than it was this morning. We're going to be around 48 tomorrow morning. About 10 degrees warmer there than we were this morning. And then we'll be at 75 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Some gusts around 25 miles per hour. So it is breezy on Wednesday. It's also going to be breezy and windy through the weekend, holding in these warm temperatures in the 70s. Even on Monday in the 70s there, but we have rain chances Monday afternoon and then into Tuesday morning especially. We'll keep you updated on that with cooler temperatures to follow. Here's Weather IQ question for the day, sponsored by Break Time. Research of voter turnout on Election Day. It shows that weather can negatively impact voter turnout. True or false? And the answer is true. Research does show that 2 major elections may have led to 2 electoral college outcomes in 1960 and the 2000 presidential elections.
Okay, thanks, Kenton. Coming up in your local news of the day, an update on yesterday's homicide in Columbia's Cosmo Park.
At Compass Health, we provide mental health, primary care, and dental services throughout Missouri, combining the latest healthcare technologies with compassionate quality care. Together, we can chart a path to your improved health, in person or virtual. The choice is yours. We accept most major insurance plans, Medicaid, Medicare, self-pay, and offer sliding scale fees. Please don't put off getting the care you need. We are Compass Health Network, and we are here for you. Call today.
The coronavirus has forced the government to take extensive actions, making this the most opportunistic time for you to finally restructure or even resolve your tax debt with the IRS. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, have unfiled tax returns, and are experiencing hardships because of the impact of COVID-19, you could qualify for more aggressive resolution plans with the IRS. National Tax Experts has specialists ready to help you determine your eligibility for these programs. Act now before it's too late.
Call 1-800-443-1644.
KOMU 8 News, now on Roku, keeps you informed with local newscasts at your fingertips. It's as easy as searching KOMU 8 and hitting Add Channel. Get the latest information online, on mobile, and now on Roku. KOMU 8 News, coverage you can count on.
Taking a break from your election coverage for just a bit, here's an update now on COVID-19 cases in the state. Missouri added nearly 5,000 cases to its total today, which is now more than 190,000. The CDC method of positivity rate shows Missouri at 14.2%. It's recommended by the CDC that number be below 5%. And in Boone County, another 1 new death reported today, bringing the total to 17 in Boone. There are also 82 new cases to tell you about, with 516 active. 105 people are in the hospital with COVID in Boone County. 20 of those are Boone County residents. Positive COVID-19 patients in St. Louis County had an opportunity to vote in person today. Patients were able to vote at a drive-in voting site near the city's election board headquarters. The location was set aside for voters who are currently COVID positive but did not vote by mail. Voters interacted with election workers who wore protective gear from head to toe. Back here in mid-Missouri, we have an update on the homicide in Columbia's Cosmo Park from last night. Police say officers detained 1 teenager. In a news release, Columbia police say the 15-year-old is being held on the charges of second-degree murder and armed criminal action, along with delivery and possession of a controlled substance. The department has not released his name. Police responded to the scene around 6 p.m. yesterday. 19-year-old Jermaine Spain was found dead when police arrived, and another gunshot victim was taken to the hospital. And we'll be right back with a wrap of your coverage.
At Slumberland, we offer quite a line of sofas.
All kinds of sofas, but only one kind of price.
A jaw-dropping low price. Great looking, too.
And all with free shipping. There's no minimum.
Only at Slumberland Furniture.
Are you suffering from serious back or neck problems or pain from an auto injury? Dr. Kyle Bowers can help. The DRX 9000 has been proven to relieve pain from bulging and herniated discs, sciatica, and even failed back surgery. Pressure between discs is relieved, drawing water, oxygen, and nutrients to the damaged area. Contact Dr. Bowers today for a free consultation. DRX 9000 treatment is affordable and accepted by most insurance. Dr. Kyle Bowers, adjusting lives every day.
Need a better night's sleep?
Come to the experts at Slumberland.
We've got all the latest sleep technology at the lowest price around.
Get this highly recommended Sealy Posturepedic Queen mattress for just $449.
Slumberland, free shipping on everything.
Thanks for watching KOMU 8 News for your Smart Decision 2020 coverage. I'm Emily Spain. We have team coverage from across the state tonight. Let's begin with KOMU 8's Tyler Drzinga, who is live at the Boone County Clerk's office. Tyler, what can you tell us?
Emily, the mad rush of precincts is over. Within the last 20 minutes, activity on the main floor has really died down. In fact, the final precinct just showed up a few minutes ago. The rest of the night's action occurs in this room right behind me where the counting takes place. You see each of those USB drives contains the results for a precinct. All total, about 80% of active voters voted in Boone County. Once a precinct is checked in, the clerk's office started counting absentee and mail-in votes early this morning, and they were all caught up by 3 o'clock this afternoon. Boone County Clerk Brianna Lennon says they also made several trips to the post office today to make sure they got all the mail-in ballots turned in before 7 o'clock. This building will now lock as the final precinct is in and the votes will be tallied. Reporting live in Columbia, Tyler Drzinga, KOMU 8 News.
In Boone County, today voters decided the fate of Amendment 3, which will determine if 2018's Amendment 1, or Clean Missouri, will be reformed. Let's take a look at what those numbers and how they stand so far, with 26% of precincts reporting the yeses have it for now. 53% voted yes, 47% voted no, opposing amending the Constitution. Amendment 3 had Missouri voters talking this election season. Let's send it now over to KOMU 8's Caroline Reevy. He joins us now in the studio to break down this amendment and what both sides have to say. Caroline?
Amendment 3 is somewhat of a reversal of Amendment 1 that passed in 2018, but there's more packed into it. Amendment 3 would eliminate lobbyist gifts and campaign contributions, but it would also change the way the state is redistricted and who is in charge of that process. Supporters of this amendment are calling it Fair Missouri, for giving Missourians a second chance to choose who represents them. Opponents of the amendment are calling it Dirty Missouri for the confusing ballot language. In the studio, Caroline Reevy, KOMU 8 News.
Okay, thanks, Caroline. Let's take a quick look here at the numbers for Missouri and the race for the White House. Of course, these candidates need no introduction. President Trump leading with 56% of the vote, and Joe Biden has 43% of the vote. This is with 49% of precincts reporting. So President Trump with the lead here in Missouri, and we'll keep you updated on Missouri's races on KOMU 8 News throughout the night. You can find the latest numbers scrolling there at the bottom of your screen. And of course, we'll see you on KOMU 8 for our 10 p.m. newscast with more team coverage in Smart Decision 2020.
On air, online, on Facebook and Twitter, on the news.